What up, guys? Crit breakdown, week 2 of the Clovis crit. Super excited. Today's race is, dude, it's money. I got a lot of really good tips for today's race. I hope you guys learned something from that. Don't forget to subscribe for more things like this, racing, training, workouts, different things. Anyways, let's dive into this crit and see what it's all about. All right, let's walk through this race. Quick little graphic really quick. I was super pumped with this. Later in this race, I did a mid-race bridge effort. My best 20-minute power ever is 360. I managed 351 for 18 minutes during this race. I did 360 back in August. So coming into the season, not even like fully building towards my peak yet at all. Super pumped to see that kind of power, especially after a long week of VO2 intervals and training. But let's talk game plan. So I dropped a video last week about last week's training crit with Clovis. A lot of people on the local scene, had interesting comments, good and bad. So anyways, with that, I came into this heavily marked this week, like crazy marked. And we all knew that as a team. I got myself, Tyler, Terrence, and Nick out here. Terrence went up the road early. We all said, you know what, let's do anything we can to get anyone else up the road besides me, and I will just be a team workhorse. So my job was to sit in, and that's pretty much what I did. The first part of this race was super chill. Here we have Tyler and Nick from my team. So this gap opened up. I didn't want Tyler to chase that down, so I just kind of closed the gap, coasted up, saved him some energy, saved Nick some energy. Terrence is up the road with Richard from Velo Kings. Those guys are super funny. They dropped a meme this week, like, boom, we're Rocky, you guys are the Russian dude from that movie, and it's going down. So there's some games being played on this. But anyways, here's Mark from Velo Kings. They kind of let him roll off the front here. Super weird. So I just kind of go to the front, patrol that. So if he was like fully giving effort, I would just sit on the front and pull it back. Even right now, you can just tell like I didn't fully commit to that. But anyways, I'm just going to roll up on his wheel. Again, my job for the day is pretty much patrolling, and what we want to do is we want to get Nick or Tyler or Terrence up the road. And if we get any of those guys up the road, if the break makeup that they're in is a good one and in our favor, we'll just let it go. If it's not, then we have to make a decision on if we want to pull it back or if we want myself or someone else from the team to try to bridge. So if it was like a break that we didn't like, I would have gone to the front. I would have brought it, fairly close to where one of our guys could have easily jumped and bridged across. That would have been the plan. If it was a break that we did like, then we would have totally just let it go. So fast forward some more. We're doing fast cuts for this one. There's a lot of dead time of me just chilling in the pack doing nothing. But still, Terrence is still up the road, which is super cool. He's up there with Richard still from Velo Kings. They got a good little gap in there. But we come out of this corner right here. Mark from Velo Kings, he attacks. So instantly what I need to do for my team is to cover that. Now, I am not going to go full send off the front to cover this. I'm basically going to get myself onto the front in position so I can really just kind of keep him sitting there and just reel him back slowly. So we want Mark to sit off the front and just use some of his watts, and I will just sit on the front and pull this back. So that is what I did. That was my job. So I just kept him, just kind of chilling out there, not doing too much, keeping him in sight, keeping him in check. Hopefully, if we were to pull him back, this would be a great time for someone on our team to counter. If someone was going to attack and try to bridge to Mark right now, someone on our team would go with that, and that would be a great counter move to get them up the road. So again, it's not real threatening. Mark kind of gives up. You can tell by his body language. So I get on his wheel, and then boom, right here, Tyler, without skipping a beat. I heard that Nick back in the group was like, Tyler, you need to counter that. So as soon as we caught him, Tyler counters. Mark gets second win and goes with it. And again, my job is to just let our team attack up the road. I'm heavily marked. I'm okay with this. I'll let that go. But then Alex from Ascend Racing goes, and I'm like, ooh, the alarm bells in my head are going ringing, 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 ringing. Because, again, like I said earlier, we want to send guys up the road that we know are going to win. And I'm not saying Tyler can't win. But the problem we have here is Tyler is a breakaway / climber TT guy. And those two guys with him right now, we have Mark, who's an all-arounder and has a decent kick, decent sprint. Alex is a pure sprinter. Me and Nick actually talked. Right here's Nick. We talked coming through that corner. We're like, dude, what should we do? Do we bring that back, or what do you want to do? And basically, we decided we just want to keep him kind of at bay, kind of right there. We don't want to let it go too crazy, and then hopefully tire some people out. And then me and Nick would try to jump and bridge that to give us more odds in that break, because again, Tyler's now up the road with two sprinters who they're also trying to bridge up to Terrence. So that was our game plan. Now we're just going to kind of patrol that gap. Don't let it get crazy big. We're going to keep it in check and hopefully get myself or Nick or both of us up the road with Tyler to help him out. Because, I know Tyler dropped in his Instagram video. He goes, dude, I'm in the break with two full-blown sprinters. Eventually he catches the main breakaway up the road. They all bridge. They become one group. And he's like, dude, I am a climber in a group of sprinters. There's no way I'm going to be able to win this. And then also we all knew that, but we weren't alarmed. Like, we knew Tyler knew what he was doing. We knew that he would, possibly attack them and wear the sprint out of their legs or do something like that. Like, that would be his best bet. So we weren't super worried. And again, me and Nick were just kind of keeping it in check. As long as the field was motivated to chase, we were going to sit in, not do anything. If it started to slow up too much and the gap opened, we would kind of bring the gap back a little bit. But again, we weren't going to fully close it down because that'd be just a jerk move on our part, and that's not what we're supposed to do. We're trying to get either myself or Nick across. So we're being patient, and we're keeping that kind of in check is what we're doing. And then right here, McKay from Team Zwift, as I come up to pass him right now, come around him, he looks at me and he goes, dude, do you want to try to bridge to that? And I immediately look at him and I go, dude, there's no try. We will bridge to that. Okay. So I told him, yes, I'm on board. When do you want to go? He says, hey, let's go on the next corner. I'm like, okay, you want to go on the next corner. So as we start rolling up here, I roll up next to Nick. I'm going to tell Nick as we pass him, I'm going to go, hey, Nick, me and McKay, we're going on this next straightaway. And he's like, okay, I'm in. So we're rolling. He took a pretty aggressive line through there. Nice, very nicely handled. He starts to go. I go with him, of course. And here we go. And then I kind of up the attack a little bit and come around him and push a little bit more. But at this point, like, we just need to go full gas, and that's what we're doing. And we started to really blow this field apart behind us with this attack. And that, I think this was kind of like the first time we like snapped the rubber band on the field. And again, Tyler is up the road. Like, that's not, he's still up there. At this point, I think he did make it all the way across. But me and Nick, like, we found this was a good opportunity. So I go full gas on this straightaway. I saw that like everyone was completely gapped behind me. Like, gaps were forming and everything. So I'm like, dude, we are all in Lego. So I'm just full digging. And I'm thinking McKay's still on my wheel. So through here, eventually I flick my elbow and I let the Zwift kid behind me pull through, which would be McKay, right? But when he comes around me, I realize, oh snap, this is not McKay. This is, I think it's Matt Max. So this is someone totally different. But I was like, kill it, dude. I'm so pumped you're up here with me. Quick little pull through, super appreciate it. Like I was completely toast, but I kept pulling because at this point we are opening a gap on the field. And then right here you see Terrence got dropped from the breakaway. So that is now a no bueno for us. So now we have just Tyler up the road. We have Mark, we have Richard, both from Velo Kings, and we have Alex. So those are three, decent to like full-on sprinter dudes. So we majorly need to get myself or Nick or both of us up the road. So at this point, I am just going all in. I think right about here, I realized, I'm starting to fade. So I look back and Nick is there, and Nick's like, dude, just keep going. So I got Nick on my wheel. I also have a sprinter, another sprinter from the field on my wheel, but he didn't want to play nice and help us out, which, I don't blame him. We're super strong and we're killing it. So yeah, he can sit in, but he totally pulled a jerk move and just tried to like disrupt us and just make us gap each other. So long story short, I ended up dropping that sprinter and Nick got gapped off because of him, and Nick solo chased forever. And then I solo chased for a good 18 minutes where I did that 350 watts for 18 minutes. But I eventually, right here is when I finally get across 18 minutes later being solo. I bridged to the group. Tyler knew I was coming, looks back, sees me, gives me a thumbs up. Like right now he just realizes, oh my gosh, our race is saved. His race is saved. Like now we have a shot to win because there's two sprinters with him. I think I have Richard on my wheel too from Velo Kings, and there's Tyler. So between me and Tyler, we could counterattack the junk out of these guys and wear them down and take the sprint out of their legs. And that's going to give either me or Tyler a decent shot at winning this race. And honestly, I don't even think we even said anything to each other about that. Like, I think we just knew in our heads, like, that was the game we have to play. We have to start kind of counterattacking. So here's the thing. I bridged to the group, and I'm going to 100% say that these guys thought I was completely waxed. And I was. And right here, it's fantastic. Tyler does a little dig to test the waters. Obviously, you see Richard on the right side cover his wheel. Mark has like no interest in covering his wheel. It's almost like he's waiting for me, which I thought was really weird, but I would have covered that if I was both of them. Anyways, they do that. He did a nice little dig there, so I'm going, okay, so Tyler just did a little attack. Now it's my turn to counterattack this group and see what we can do. So right here on the straightaway, we're looking at each other, and then I go, and I counterattack him, and we, it didn't really go anywhere, but it was a good little kick. Again, we're just kind of wearing their legs down. If anything, like we can get away, that's okay. We're just wearing their legs down. So do a little attack there, and Mark is right back on the front after that, which I'm really surprised. Oh, here we go. There, I'll pull through. Okay, so never mind. Mark is not on the front. Tyler's kind of second wheel. Richard's back up there. I know Alex is still in the group. I think Alex is behind me from Ascend Cycling. So there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us in this main group. We are gone at this point. The field is nowhere in sight. And basically we have Tyler with the first attack, me with the counter attack, and now Tyler is probably going to be saving up to do his counter attack, which hopefully is the one that kind of breaks the straw on the camel's back. But this is the game you have to play. Like, you have to be aggressive. Like, Tyler knows I'm riding well. I know that Tyler's riding well. So we both know, like, there's really no risk of us getting dropped. Like, we can both attack all day long. We're both gonna, be able to sustain it and stay in this group. We're not worried about that. So we got a great game of chess going right now. So again, Tyler, he needs to attack at some point to kind of light this up, and that's exactly what he does right here. Right here, Tyler sees the opportunity. Richard just took a hard pull in the headwind section. We come out of that section. Tyler goes. Now, I don't know why Mark didn't go. This is when I realized Mark was marking me and Richard was marking Tyler. I thought that was a little foolish, to be honest. I'm a little confused by the tactics. I wouldn't have done that. I would have definitely covered Tyler. Like, I wouldn't have let that go on. But they did. And, you know, honestly, they paid for it, because what's going to end up happening is Tyler gets up the road. Richard never fully connected onto his wheel, and Richard gets dropped. And because I'm with Alex and I'm with Mark, they're both like not really motivated to like fully work for like a lap or two. It was really weird. Like, we are just going nowhere right now. And they weren't really motivated. And I was like, well, I'm not going to help because Tyler's up the road. So at this point, we're just kind of just chilling, and Richard was dangling out there for laps by himself, and Tyler's like way off into the sunset solo. It was just kind of a weird situation. But fast forward, we finally start working together. I believe this is us coming into the final lap right here. All right, so in this final lap, my goal is to not be on the front, at least on the back straightaway. Like, that's my goal. So Tyler's up the road. He won the race. Like, he won. Major congrats to Tyler. Super pumped that he won. Now I'm in the break, and I got to stay off the deal and get second. And I have Mark, who's an all-arounder. He's got a good sprint on him. I have Alex, who's a pure sprinter. And then we still have Richard, who is also like a sprinter / Mark's lead out man. So that's what I'm dealing with. And I am a breakaway rider. Like, I have a little bit of a kick, but I wouldn't say I'm a sprinter by any means. So my goal is to not, he was totally trying to put me in the gutter. Like, well played. Especially if Mark was to attack on the right side, I would have been for sure done. That would have been perfect time for Mark to attack. But so I'm just waiting. And obviously no one comes around me, so now I'm like, great, I have to keep my ears completely open. Really think, see, I'm in a super high canes right now because I am so ready to jump. Like, if they jump, I want to be in a nice cadence where I can easily get on top of the gear, accelerate really fast, and get on their wheels. And this is when I think Alex on the back was like, we need to go, the field is coming. And then so Mark goes, I instantly jump, and I luckily catch onto his wheel. Like, see, I'm doing 114 RPM. Like, that's key, picking your gear, knowing when people are going to attack. Jump onto his wheel. We're in kind of a cross headwind right here. So I'm going to come over here on the right side of him where I'm going to be kind of protected. And then I hear Alex behind me start to go. But then, like, what happened right there, right? I heard Alex go, and he almost crashes us out. But you have to stay calm. Like, it's super important that you just rebound from that. And that's what I did. Like, instantly, I threw it out of my mind, came out of the final corner, and I was like, I'm not waiting for him to sprint. I don't want to drag race. I just want to go. And I took off as hard as I could and kicked as hard as I could. And honestly, I end up winning the sprint for second, which was huge for me. So we got Tyler up the road, who like lapped the field and wins the race. Phenomenal, all because of the way he rode it. And then there's me taking second in the field sprint. But yeah, I heard Alex behind me. The dude totally like comes unclipped and all that stuff and tries to get going again. His chain's dangling around, and the pack is like literally right behind us, about to catch us. I'm like, Mark, you just gotta go, you gotta go. And Mark like is totally okay with that, and he goes. And then right here, I open it up and I get the jump on Mark. I think I beat him by a couple bike lengths, but like it was very hectic right there. But again, you have to stop and you have to instantly like try to figure out what your next move was. Like, that easily could have costed me my whole race, like especially if he almost crashed into us and I just kind of freaked out and gave up and was like, I'm done. Like, race is done. I'm not getting second. But you just have to be calm. So Alex he's a good bike handler. Obviously, you watched him, like the way he handled his bike. Mark got bumped into, and he's a good bike handler too, and he doesn't move anywhere. He just takes it and hangs on. And me, I'm just like, just kind of off to the side going, okay, don't hit me, don't cross wheels, we're good. Anyways, it worked out. We got super lucky. No one was mad at Alex. Like, dude, it happens. And in fact, after the race, when we saw Alex, he completely like busted his left side crank arm. Like, No joke, completely busted it, snapped it in two. There you have it, that's our race breakdown. Honestly, like team tactics, it really depends on how strong everyone is too, because myself, Nick, and Tyler, we're all riding really good right now. We were able to adjust on the fly during that race and just make the magic happen. So hey, if you guys really enjoyed that, please leave comments below. I love reading your comments, and I love seeing, you know, who took away from that, or even if you have some advice that you want to throw in there too. I'd love to hear that and see that as well. But that's the race breakdown. Until next time, I will see you guys later.
Sugar cane, I know, by the name of solitude.